Like any other day, life in and around Kogi State Polytechnic appears normal, everyone up and about their day's business. But there's this woman, Mrs. Elizabeth Abimaje, a staff of this school, who is in deep pains. Just a year ago, her husband was gruesomely murdered here on campus in circumstances yet to be unraveled.
I'm a civil servant with the Kogi State Polytechnic.
Recounting the last moments of her husband, Mr. Nathaniel Abimaje, she won't buy any story suggesting he was stabbed to death by rioting students.
I was called that a student had been wounded. On my own, on normal ground, as we usually go out to help students, I rushed out. So I saw the blood. I said, this is the place the person was wounded. Now traced the spotted blood down and saw a dead body under the mango tree in front of the science tech. I shouted, because I went in group of man-o-war, I shouted, hold on, let us identify that is a student. On flashing my torchlight, lo and behold, it became my husband.
The students were fighting among themselves. He went in to appeal to them, and he was attacked. So how could somebody or in the group of people now to say that he was attacked by staff?
It was a slaughter. It was not stabbed. Maybe if you see somebody who is stabbed, you see where they struggled or something met him accidentally. But this is a cut on the jugular vein. I used my hand to cover that point when I carried him to the hospital.
She takes us through the part where the incident occurred, alleging her husband was lured to death by powerful persons other than the students who she claimed they lived for.
We normally cook, and students will eat during exam because they call it a hard period, injury time. So we sent food, bags of rice, bags of gari. Even the last exam, they came back to write after the riot. I still sent gari and rice, bags of rice to the hostel. We do that on personal ground. It was that personal calling we have that made us to still live on campus. Not afraid of anything, because even if there's riot, they will leave our house and stone other houses. Other staff can bear witness to that.
He was attacked in the midst of students who were fighting. He went there to appeal to them to stop the fight. This is what happened.
They didn't attack me, neither him. They said, "Oga, no be you with the fine though." I mean, they said something like that. So how will you tell me that those students now killed?
While this spot fenced with stones still serve as a memorial for where he was murdered, tears filled her eyes as she tells us the authorities aren't doing enough for the man they eulogize so well.
I want justice. The government can give me accommodation and settle the children. My children are coming on holiday. I don't have a hope of how they are going back to school. We are educated. We have a standard of how we want our children to be. Their father was to collect his result of doctorate degree before he was killed. He have a high ambition. He has that for his children. The first daughter wants to be a pilot. The second daughter wants to be an engineer. The son wants to be a doctor. They all have this, and their father has promised them heaven and earth that whatever they can do, they can wherever they want to go, he will sell his life to go. But now, they don't even have accommodation. They don't even have school fees at secondary school level. So I'm afraid of tomorrow. It makes me weep day and night.
A one-year memorial service has held on campus in his remembrance, but grief, pain and disappointment are still the order of the day among his friends, and worst still is the allegation making the rounds that his integrity and uprightness gave him in, a position the ASUP chairman finds trivial and spurious.
If Abimaje were rigid and he was not extravagant with marks, does it mean others were elastic and very corrupt with their marks? Meaning that he was 1 out of 200 or less or more. And that is an indictment on the whole system.
So everything that's supposed to be done was done at the right time.
A good man has been hacked down, and until justice is done, his children will continue to have their fate hang in a balance. Again, worrisome still is that justice delayed in cases as this is fast becoming justice denied. Someone needs to act now. For the big story, Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.